Hello again, Internet. I'm the Recap Nerd, and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we're going to talk about the Dark Knight himself. After reading a good chunk of Superman comics, and me slowly losing my sanity, I decided that I should take a break from Superman, and then I realized of how well my first video did. Yes, I know it's not much to you, but it is to me, so shh. So I decided after this video is done, I'm going to read more Superman comics again and continue the story. And then I realized after my last video, I did a little bit more research, and then I found out that the Golden Age superheroes take place on Earth 2. And it's not the main Earth.
You had one job.
But I think I should keep going, mostly because these characters do play important roles in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and design-wise, they don't look that different from transitioning from the Golden Age to the Silver Age. Unless you're these characters. And again, DC had a bit of a continuity problem back then, so yeah, let's just continue and I'll try to make it as coherent as possible. So first things first, let's start reading one of DC's most beloved superhero, Aquaman, Batman! Alright, so with that out of the way, let's start reading some Batman comics.
In the night of Gotham, as Commissioner Gordon and Bruce Wayne were having a conversation about this mysterious figure named Batman. Then suddenly, Gordon's phone rang, and as soon as he picked it up, he was informed that a murder took place. And with that said, he was on the case, and invited Bruce to go with him, because I guess bringing civilians to a crime scene was okay in the 1930s, I don't know. As soon as they arrived, they questioned the potential suspect, but he explained what actually happened.
He explained that he witnessed the man dying and noticed that a contract went missing, and as Gordon asked if there was anyone with any intent of killing him, as the witness couldn't recall, but he did mention that there were 3 other businessmen that know him. There was suddenly another phone call of a civilian who was connected to the murdered victim, and asked the police to come in and protect them as soon as possible.
As Gordon and the other officers were ready to go, Bruce decided to call it a night and head home, as everyone else was already on the way. As the second to last businessman was aware of what's happening, and was just waiting for the police to get here, but before they arrived, the businessman got an unexpected visit, and was immediately killed. As soon as the criminals were leaving the scene, they were planning their next target. But they suddenly noticed that Batman was right behind them.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Using his skills and fighting abilities, he took the criminals down and stole a piece of paper. Just as he did, the police arrived and arrested the found criminals. As Batman makes his escape and drives off. For someone called the Dark Knight, he drives a surprisingly bright red car. Anyways, the last businessman was fully aware of what's happening and decided to leave, but he was then knocked out. As he woke up, he saw the guy that was behind all the murders. And then he decided to trap the businessman in a descending glass dome that will be filled with poisonous gas. As soon as the bad guy left, Batman came in with a heavy wrench and a rag, and managed to get in the dome before it closed. He used the rag to stop the gas from coming in, and used the wrench to smash through the glass, saving both of them. As the bad guy came back, he was then beaten up by Batman. As the citizen was saved, he thanked the Dark Knight and asked where he managed to find him. As Batman explained that the paper he took from the bad guys was a list of the hits and the addresses. And he also explained that if they all died, then the bad guys would take the entire company and the fortune. As the criminal plans to pull out his gun in a desperate attempt, he was then punched by Batman and thrown off the ledge and into a pit of acid. Oh yeah, by the way, Batman kills in this universe, so yeah. And with that said, the police arrived. And as the citizen wanted to thank Batman again, he was already gone. At the ending, it revealed that Bruce Wayne was the Batman all along.
After that, it's just when I realized that Batman was always a badass.
Unlike Superman, where he was just dealing with some low-life thugs here and there, and one supervillain. Nope, not Batman. He was already fighting vampires, people with superpowers, giants. Not only did he fight one evil scientist, but 2. He's already fighting his arch nemesis, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's first talk about his origin, and the debut of the Boy Wonder. The first, Robin. It all started at night, with the Waynes walking home from a movie, but then they were suddenly mugged by a random criminal, and asking them for their money at gunpoint. But instead of that, Thomas Wayne decided to take the criminal on in order to protect his family, but was suddenly shot. As Martha looked in terror, she was called for help, but then she was suddenly shot in order to not make a scenery, as the criminal then took all their stuff and ran away, leaving the now orphaned boy named Bruce Wayne behind. After that, years have gone by, as Bruce devoted his life to becoming stronger, smarter, and becoming peak human, and devoted his life to taking on crime. But he needs a costume, something that strikes fear into the hearts of his enemies. But suddenly a bat came in, and it gave Bruce the idea he needed, and thus becoming the hero we all know as the Batman in the Golden Age, which is Earth 2. Alright, now that we know about Batman, let's talk about Robin. The story begins at a circus, as a young boy named Dick Grayson was taking a break as he overheard the ringleader being threatened by some bad guys. As the ringleader claimed that it was a bluff, he then told him to leave. As the criminals left, they warned him that something bad will happen, watching the Grayson parents do their usual performance. But something went wrong. The rope suddenly snapped, sending both of them to their untimely death, and leaving a now orphaned Dick Grayson. The now saddened young boy overheard the ringleader talking to the same criminals again, as they were responsible for the death of his parents. As the desperate young Grayson wanted to call the police immediately, Batman came in and warned him not to do it, because lately the police were being bought off by a gang leader. So in order to keep the boy protective, Batman decided to bring him with him to safety. And in order to sympathize with the young boy, he revealed that his parents were too murdered by an act of crime. So that's why he devoted his life to taking out as many criminals as possible. And with that said, Dick asked Batman if he could teach him how to fight crime so he can become a hero like he is. As Batman looked at the young boy and was moved by his determination, he decided to take him under his wing and reveal to him who he is and everything he stood for, with an oath and everything. And also taught him how to fight like no other. And thus, Robin, the boy wonder, was born. After that, they devised a plan that Robin should work for the paper company in order to find out where the criminal hideouts are. And as soon as he did, Batman came in and beat up as many bad guys as he possibly can. Like, completely wrecked them. To the point where I have no idea if he's even fighting bad guys anymore. Like, he's just wrecking shit. Like, holy crap, Batman, calm down! And as soon as he did, the gang leader got really pissed off. And just to put the cherry on top, Batman sent him in a box revealing where the Batman is. So the gang leader took his goons with him in order to face the Batman. And as soon as they left, Robin was riding behind one of their vehicles. But as soon as they arrived, expecting to find Batman, they were suddenly hit by a sneak attack by Robin. And because of his fighting abilities, he was able to fight them all off. But after one mistake, he was then suddenly on the ledge, but still able to fight them off. He was then threatened at gunpoint, and then Batman came in order to fight him off, helping his partner, and thus helped Dick get his revenge on the criminals. After that event, they became the dynamic duo known as Batman and Robin, setting up for one of their many adventures. After that issue, a familiar clown prince we all known has made his debut. One night, things weren't as normal as they should be, when there was a sudden crackle of the radio, interrupting its regularly scheduled program. Do you guys remember when radio was a thing before television? Wow, times were really simple back then, were they? Anyways, on the radio, it seems that some sort of psychotic man was making his announcement, predicting that a certain person will die in a certain time while stealing a certain object all at the same night. As some people just shrugged it off and assumed that was just a crazy message, this particular victim that was mentioned in the radio hired the police to protect him in case something did happen. At first, nothing happened, but then suddenly the man started croaking over and literally dropped dead. As police were shocked that they failed on protecting him, they were at least hopeful that they at least protected the object. But as they figured out the object they were supposed to protect was fake, this mysterious figure actually managed to steal it under their noses. In the next scene, we see a man suddenly explaining how he managed to do what he did by poisoning the man a long time ago while also stealing the item he warned that he would take. Then he suddenly laughed at his victory, thus naming himself The Joker.
As Bruce and Dick were trying to come up with a plan to take out the Joker, but then they thought that the best course of action for right now was to wait for the perfect timing. The next night came in, as the exact same events went by as Joker made his same announcement, but to another helpless victim. And as soon as the victim died from the exact time the Joker had foreseen, the cops were suddenly gassed. And as the Joker came out from the shadows, he took the item he was looking for. And after that, he made his bow as if he did a performance, and leaving the scenery. Finally, at one point, the bad guys were getting annoyed that the Joker was stealing all of their thunder. So one of the leaders decided to challenge the Joker and to call him up. And because of that, Batman took this as the opportunity to finally taking down the Joker. And with that said, the Madman decided to take up on the challenge. But it turns out the leader wasn't as dumb as the Joker thought, as his men came in to help him out. But what he didn't plan for was for Batman to also come in and to basically take down everyone. Because of all his confusion, the Joker took the opportunity to kill the guy who opposes him as he made a run for it, as Batman was right behind him and also grabbed onto his car. As soon as the Joker realized what was happening, they both ended up fighting each other. And they fought each other all the way to the point where the car drove off a bridge. But then suddenly the Joker had the upper hand and kicked the Dark Knight off the bridge. But thankfully the Batman survived, but the Joker got away. I just realized where the whole Batman Joker Christmas song came from, but never mind. Anyways, in the next day, well, next night, the Joker made his exact same announcement, and the exact same events happened once more, as he managed to kill his next victim with ease without any of the police force noticing it, as he managed to get away almost scot-free, as Robin was actually following him the entire time. But eventually Robin was discovered and was knocked out. Thankfully, Batman was able to find him thanks to his gadgets and detective work. And as soon as he found Robin, he gave the Joker a good punch in the face that pushed him over a table, causing a fire. But the Joker found a poisonous dart and shot Batman. And since this caught the Dark Knight off guard, the Joker made a run for it once again. But thankfully, Batman had a good immune system and managed to fight off the poison. How? I don't know, comics. And after that, he managed to save Robin and leave the burning building. And as soon as they did, the dynamic duo decided to chase after the Joker and end his reign of terror once and for all. And after a little tussle, the Joker realized he's been outmatched and decided to continue running away. But as soon as he jumped up to the next building, Robin came in and kicked him in the face off the ledge. And before the Joker could fall to his death, Batman caught him. And as soon as he grabbed him, he knocked him out and put him straight to jail. After it ended, Bruce and Dick went back to crime fighting, as the Joker laughed hysterically, plotting his vengeance against Batman or Robin. Alright, and that's the end of the Golden Age Batman comic part 1. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and leave some comments for what I should do next. So as of right now, I'm just going to continue with the Golden Age comic and hope for the better. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.